Hey guys, Nerdman73 here. Before this video starts, I wanted to take a moment to explain sort of what's going on with this series and why the last one isn't completed, why we just sort of left it off a couple months ago, and I haven't done anything to it in a long time. So the last season, I never really felt like I didn't like the ideas or anything. I didn't really feel super excited about what we were building, what was going on with that, and then I just kind of lost touch with that world in general. So that season just sort of ended as soon as I didn't want to build on there anymore. I had a couple more episodes queued up to be uploaded, but upon reviewing them, I didn't like them. They were boring. So we're gonna start a new season here and hopefully make some more leaps and bounds in progress. I'm feeling really motivated about this one. Yeah, I'm sorry about leaving that season off like that, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And we may come back to the ideas presented in that season once I've sort of gotten into the YouTube thing and I can upload regularly. Uh, right now I don't have a whole lot of time to be able to record and such, but I do have a lot of time to make off-screen progress, so I'll try to do that as much as possible and make good quality videos for you guys to watch. Yeah, sorry about the last season, but let's make this a good one. I'm excited about this, so let's let's have a good season here. I'll catch you guys in the video. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You guys should be playing some M&M right now, because guess who's back? It's your boy, Nate or Nerdman73 here, and welcome back. It's been a while, that's for sure. Hopefully that intro explains sort of what my situation is, why I haven't been uploading for a while. But let's not get into that, because I already did. So let's talk about what this world is going to offer us here. Now, my intention is to make a lot of progress on this world really fast. I will have school coming up pretty soon in the next week or so, or next couple weeks. Sorry, I guess it's 2 or 3, isn't it? Whatever, doesn't matter. So the idea here is sort of the Mountain King and his city aspect sort of thing. So we're going to be building this from front to back, starting with sort of this open trade market area, and then moving back into like residential areas and the underground, and finally ending with the giant's castle, sort of the hall of the Mountain King, inspired by the name of that one song, that I'm sure you guys will have to look up, because not a lot of people know the name of that song. And I'm not going to sing it on camera because reasons. So the idea here is to make everything in sort of this stone or hewn from stone color, and shape-wise, I'm not super happy with how this doesn't convey that idea very well. Once we get out of the market area and we get deeper into the mountains, it'll be easier to do that, but that's sort of the idea. There's going to be a lot of stone textures, there's going to be a lot of cobblestone, stone brick, that sort of thing. And then everything on the outside, the walls and everything, will just be huge. Like this wall here is going to extend all the way down. This little moat is going to continue around, probably fill this area here like a basin, and then go under here like that that one city in Skyrim that has like the pavement way, and then sort of like a sewer looking thing under it that boats can travel through. That's sort of the idea there. Yeah, why don't I open this up to LAN, bring my third person spectator mode camera account in here so we can talk about the rest of sort of the base, what we're going for as far as the idea goes. Certain things may end up changing over time, but it's fine. That stuff happens. So yeah, I'll let me hop into spectator mode real quick, and I'll kind of go through what I'm gonna do here. All right, so here we are staring at the future gates of the Mountain King city. You can already see that there's sort of a natural arch forming in here, and I want to take advantage of that, but I think I want it to be a couple blocks taller, just because this wall is like right there, and I want it to be super imposing and gigantic. Now, the idea here is not to change a whole lot of the block palette of the vanilla style. of terrain generation, but simply to make it look like this was once one big mountain and it's been carved out. So this will mostly be stone. The problem with that is that stone stairs, just stairs made out of this texture, don't exist. So I'm gonna have to do something creative with that. Um, and the great part about this is that this area is so close to so many things. Like this pillar out there, that cobblestone, is a skeleton spawner. This dirt square is a slime chunk, which we'll be getting into that stuff next episode. But you get the idea. There are so many animal spawns out here. There's just so much going on that's so useful and close to here. Like, it's only like 400 blocks that way for, I like to call it a glacier biome, but that's wrong. It's frozen, whatever the new frozen biome is, that looks like it has glaciers in it. I'm just calling it the glacier biome. Forget it. I don't care what Minecraft says it is. I'll use my own terms. Um, so yeah, that's the idea for this gate. There's going to be a passageway that runs through here. The idea is that there's going to be sort of two ways about this city. There's going to be the consumer, commercial, residential, whatever, the typical way of a citizen of the city is going to go. They can go through the markets area that goes under this walkway, as I explained before. On the walkways themselves, they've got all kinds of areas. There's also going to be a guard patrol area, which is going to be a considerably different and more basic palette, I think. It's going to be stone, brick, stone, and andesite. Which, when you throw them together, it works pretty well. Sort of the stone bricks working out as a very basic liner, and then the stone and the andesite working well to break each other up to prevent it from being one giant stone thing. And I may incorporate that somewhat into this mountain a bit on either side where the stone is showing. But as you can see, it's a large area, so I'll probably keep that to a minimum on the gate itself. As far as the walls and such go, I'm going to go pretty heavy into that sort of thing. Now over here, there's this interesting little cave feature that I took a look at, and you'll notice that I've got a little tunnel carved out right here. And the idea of this tunnel is sort of to create an underground smuggler's ring sort of side story in this whole city that I'm creating. And the idea here is that the underground sort of trader's boat area is going to have some sewer pipe looking things. It's going to be four stairs stacked in a way that it's completely closed off. Like all the open corners of the blocks are inwards facing. I'll include a screenshot right about here for you to take a look at and understand what I'm saying. But the idea is that you can swim through that now. So when you press shift in water, when your head's above underwater, sorry. Speaking today would be really nice to be able to do. So when your head's above water, when your head's underwater, if I could freaking talk. Um, when your head's underwater and you press shift, you sort of lay on your side, right? That's the idea. Well, it turns out that you can fit through this stair assembly and swim through it. And the idea is that in here, there's going to be a hidden doorway, because this tunnel, all it does is it ends right there. I thought it led all the way through. That's my bad. Um, okay, so that tunnel's a dead end. I'll probably loop it back around and bring it back outside over there somewhere. Um, just for the sake of making it look useless, more useless than it already is. Um, and then this is going to be a cool, like, a cool piston door or whatever. And then there's going to be sort of an area where you step into the sewer pipe and go into the trader's area. And then this, from here to around, let's call it right around here. I'm going to move these farm animals. It's too far forward now that I think about it. And then there's going to be sort of an offshoot this way where you can go, and there's better, or not better trade, but sort of a trader's area. I'm going to call it the boardwalk, where all the consumerist items will be available. And it's going to be really densely popular or packed. The buildings are going to be really tight together, and there's going to be a lot of NPCs running around here. That's the big thing. I'm gonna take a look at. There is a village around 2,000 blocks away from here. Which when we use the nether, it won't be that bad. Famous last words, probably, if I were to take a guess. But this is going to be multi-tiered, sort of multi-leveled, stacked, almost sort of feel. I need to put a roof on this thing. I didn't think about that until now. And that's sort of the idea that's going to be continuing through this, is that everything's super packed together, everything's stacked on top of each other. But it's going to get cooler than that. So over here, probably going to move it back all the way over here. I think this is a good area for the farm area. This will be mostly decorative. There will be actual some mechanized automated farms that will be useful, and of course the wall will run around this, so it's going to be protected on all sides. um, and it's going to run into this mountain, I think, and then into the arch that way. um, so this wall is going to be the biggest pain in the butt of this series, but whatever. I've already committed to this. I'm making a video about it, so I've got to do it now. Hold me up to my word, please. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all those animals, move them over here. This is going to be sort of the farm area, very rural, maybe 1 to 2 houses chilling over here. And then, right, so this is sort of going to be residential, just regular old houses sticking out of mountains, you know the deal. And then over here, now this mountain is going to be an interesting one, because it's going to be 2 things. This is going to be the first portion of the giant's castle. This is going to be a giant tower that's sort of piercing up into the sky. It's going to be huge. But under it is going to be an entrance to what I like to call the underground. Now, thanks for your input, Cal. I appreciate that. Now, you'll notice that there's a lot of tunnels in this area, and I may or may not make use of that. I'm still deciding. But there's a lot of tunnels. It's such a complex tunnel system under this mountain. Look at all that. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how bad it was. Yeah, so any kind of mob farm I'm gonna build here is gonna have to wait, because I mean, like a dark room spawner would be awful, because look at all these dark spaces. It's so bad. It's so bad. So this is gonna be the underground. It's going to be, well, when you imagine what the underground, something called the underground, would look like, it would be sort of like the punk rock area of like a 50s high school movie, whatever. So that's the idea. Everything's going to be different. It's going to be sort of ramshackle looking. Everything's going to be hanging from the ceiling. It's going to be a little hard to explain. We got plenty of room to do it in, and it's going to be relatively vertical. Which is different from most of the other builds over here, which sort of expand across horizontally. Um, and then the Giant's Castle, that's going to be a lot of materials. So this giant tower, and then it's going to sort of loop around, ending at the base of those hills over there, and then you can't really see my cursor, but it's going to come over this river, right around sort of that little peninsula thing that's sticking out there. It's going to come back around to this little mountain here, and it's going to connect back up to that tower area, and it's just going to be massive. That's sort of the idea here, is that just shadowing everyone else here with all the NPCs and the civilians, I guess you could call them, with just how massive this king is supposed to be, because this castle is just ginormous. So that's sort of the plan here. I've got a lot of things to do, but I think I'm going to call this episode here, just because, we already had a time lapse, we already built this house. By the way, what do you guys think of this? Feel free to leave a comment down below. I am going to put a roof on it eventually. I just kind of ran out of materials, and I didn't want to make the time lapse extremely long. And it's just going to serve as sort of a little intro for me to talk over and explain what's going on with this series, and why the other series is gone now, and whatever. I've got to build an interior here. There's going to be a lot of building in this series, but I'm also going to try to incorporate as much redstone as possible, because I am pretty adept in that sense, and I kind of want to make as much use of that as possible. So, what do you guys think of not only this building, but sort of the build style in general? Uh, yeah, just feel free to let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas, what you have to say about this series so far on the first episode. It's a really talky episode, but whatever, it'll be fine. Um, so that's all I have to say about that right now. And I'll catch you in the next video.